Now, one question I want to ask is, of course, you did Playboy, and like, how did this come about?
God, that seems so long
Um,
ago with the way things are in the WWE now.
it really does. Do they still do that in WWE?
Oh
No,
hell no! They don't
they're
even say dirty words on. I mean, it's so PG it makes Disney look bad.
Really? Wow. When I had done the Diva search, literally, like right when I won the contest, I was walking out of the ring, walking back to the locker room, and got pulled aside by the office and asked if I would consider doing Playboy and if I would have a meeting right after the show. And I was like, "What? This is the craziest night. What is going on?"
Well,
I told them that night. I said, because I had made a promise to my father when I was younger and first got into modeling. I told him that I would never, never, never pose nude. That was my promise to him. So I told them that the only way I would do it is if I got approval from my dad. And so I went to my dad the next week and asked him, and he was like, "Well, you're not 16 anymore, so if it's something that you think is good for your career and you want to do it, then you have my blessing." And
you
that's
bring
how
up
that was.
you bring up the Diva search. Looking back now, do you think that competition was actually more successful than people give it credit for? Because like people like you, Michelle McCool, Layla, all came from that. And
Yeah,
I
well, I mean, the Diva search changed women's wrestling. I mean, whether for some people it's good or some people it's bad, it definitely changed it. You know, like when I first got in there, it was all wrestlers, and like within weeks, they had all gotten fired or things changed so quickly, and they started hiring girls from the Diva search. And I mean, I really stayed connected to what I wanted because I wanted to prove that I was worthy of winning it, and I wanted to give back to the fans, and I wanted to learn how to wrestle, and I wanted to give 100% to growing in the company and everything. It definitely shook up the women's wrestling and changed it. That's for sure.
I can't
and I
think. Go ahead, Carly.
no, I was gonna say, I think when you look back and like look at the Diva search and look at you then and look at you now, you have so much evolved. Like you have come like your own star. And I think you have to credit TNA. They have like because like in the Diva search, it was kind of like girls like who were from wrestlers. I think TNA have like made you a bigger star like that, like next to your music. And like I said earlier, I honestly do think, given time, you will become a fantastic asset to TNA.
Thank you. I mean, I really want to grow with the company, and I'm starting to feel like I have footwork and grounding within it. I feel like I'm a part of it, and I don't see me going anywhere anytime soon. So I just want to keep growing with the company, that's for sure. And I think they're headed in the right direction.
If you do disappear off TV, there will be a riot in England heading towards Tennessee, headed by me.
Well, let's
Trey,
make sure that doesn't happen.
Well, I have to ask this because I'm sitting here. I'm literally as we're talking, I'm racking my brain out of doing this radio show. Well, not this one particularly, but my other show for 15 years. I'm trying to think. That's a lot of interviews. I'm trying to think, other than Ashley, who at the time wasn't Ashley in Playboy. um, I think that you're the only one that I've ever interviewed that has been actually in Playboy.
Well, I just gave you a first.
That's an awesome thing to have. But my question is, now that you've done it and you've moved on, looking back at it, and we discussed this a while back another subject, but it's almost like there was a WWE Playboy curse because everybody that did the magazine shortly left the company thereafter. Any idea why that is, or if it's just coincidence, or?
Well, ignoring the fact that we had done Playboy, look at just the divas in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's another one where it's. I don't really think there's a curse or has anything to do with anything like that. I just think that I don't think that they want anybody to get too comfortable. You know what I mean? Outside of people that really sort of learn how to master how to being inside that division, I would say someone like Trish Stratus, who is just, I tell you, that woman is smart, and she is calculated. She was calculated in how to stay.
Well, I mean, she went from being just a pretty face to being one of the best female wrestlers in the history of female wrestling.
She was very smart, and she's beautiful, and she has the it factor. You know, it depends on the person and like what they're wanting and where they're going. And I would say for the most part, women or men and either don't exactly know what they want. And the people that do know exactly what they want and are calculated in the way that they are, they stay.
Right.
Well, like
I would say that I was my own demise at WWE. I felt, looking back on it now, I don't feel this way anymore. However, looking back on it now, at the time, I almost felt guilty, like I had, you know, won this position and I hadn't quite deserved it yet. I hadn't gone up through the indie scene, or I hadn't worked really hard to do it. Although I was working hard when I was there. You know, I was pretty much working my ass off every day, except that was sort of in the back of my mind, like I needed to work harder. And so, you know, lo and behold, I leave the company and I do all of that, and now I'm in TNA and I'm, you know, Impact, and now I'm coming up, you know, the way that I had always seen it.